This video is about fighting and not fighting, but I only want to hear from the dads. Yes, young bucks, you've got ideas, but this is a video so that it's for me, because I need some some backup, some reinforcement, some ideas. And I think that the best people for this is fellow fathers. Let me paint this scene. I've taken my son to soccer. It's a house league soccer, not big stakes by any stretch of the imagination. The game's going on and it's a little bit tense. And then we've got from the other team what I would call asshole fathers. They think that their kid is going to be, major Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the next Messi. They're not. This is house league soccer. And things got a little bit heated. Now, I'm not one to make a scene. I have no problem running my mouth. The question comes when another father gets in your face and words are being shared. At what point do you make the decision to either walk away or to stand your ground, hopefully not getting in a fight? Because that was the situation that I was in. In my younger days, I would have no problem escalating this to a full-on fight. Let's do it. Drop the gloves. I know it's soccer, but drop the gloves. You know what I'm talking about. But I was in a real interesting situation where I want to teach my son, one, that you don't have to fight. But on the flip side, I want to teach him that you need to stand up for yourself. You can't be bullied. Now, yes, to explain the situation a little bit more, there was 3 fathers on the other side, plus, oh my God, plus a wife that didn't know how to shut the fuck up. Didn't know how, and she just kept going. So how do you, as a father, decide the right way to do things? What I did by default was I definitely kept running my mouth and I held my ground. I kept distance between me and the 3 other men that were not charging me, but they were pressuring me. They were walking closer and closer and closer. So I had to keep moving back. Yes, a lot of spectators. The biggest, most important spectator, my kid. What do I teach him? Because it could have got into a fight. Could I have held my own? Probably not. I'm not at that age anymore. It would have been ugly. But there was part of me that wanted for it to go down to throwing hands. But the smarter part of me wanted it to be where I could hold my own verbally. And although I'm, saying things that maybe weren't advisable, but at the same time trying to de-escalate the situation. How do we as fathers teach our kids to stand up for themselves, not be pushed away around, but how do we also say, this is the time you throw in the towel. This is when you try to get out of the situation. Because it's very easy, especially for kids, or should I say teens, early 20s, people have weapons. It's not like the old days where it was like a fair fight. We just knock a tooth. Okay, shake hands, buy a beer for a guy. There's a weird shift that's happened. And I'm sure if you're in your 40s, that you can relate to the idea that there's no fair fights anymore. Not that I've heard of. And I'm very scared for my young boys growing up. How do they deal? Now, what ended up happening? Both teams were done. The refs were done. The coaches were done. And I did my best to de-escalate the situation, maybe a little bit late. And we all kind of walked away. Later on, there was a tournament and no other team wanted to play this team with these deadbeat dads, I'll call them. So I felt comfortable with the fact that it wasn't just me. Other teams and other fathers and parents were having issues with this one team. But and this was months ago, but I keep going back in my head and in my mind and saying, how do we teach standing up for yourself? How do we teach just to walk away? And how do you teach where to draw the line and what to do when someone crosses that line? So this isn't advice by any stretch. I'm actually making this video in the hopes that I can get some other fathers to share what they think is right. what they would have done or what they have done with their children watching. Because that's the big one. That's the one that really messed up my calibration on how to deal with something, is because I had somebody watching my every move. Did I succeed in that moment? I'd like to think so, but my gut, my instincts wanted more to happen. My fatherly my concern for my son was watching his dad get his ass beat. That was very possible. So it's really, what would you do? Dad, what would you do?